There's a lot of people with us today. It's our amazing actor. So I'm not prepared yet. Still for the beginning of a stream, like always. We have with us.
We're getting there.
At some point, I'm gonna be good at it. You will be impressed, but I don't know when. You need to be patient with me. So with us today, we have Christy as Sophie, but adult. We're gonna meet her more later in the chapter, so you've not heard about her a lot yet, but it's gonna come. We have Bernard, but Teen Bernard. That we're going to see much more in the future also. And we have Mark as Robert, the Bernard's dad. We also have Melissa, our community manager you've seen in the past, and Miguel was always there, so we don't care anymore. So, today we wanted to... Oh, this camera is not working well. I'm going to just... Don't look at me. Nothing's happening. Everything's going great. Okay.
The stream looks great.
Yes. So I didn't ask anyone to test, but Miguel, do you want to just make sure that we're hearing us and
We're
we're
there, and there's at the moment 3 viewers.
Hi. So perfect. So we wanted to, in fact, like I was saying before, I wanted to do a stream because I wanted to meet all of those talented people, and I just assumed that maybe you wanted to. So we want to talk about a bit about who you are and the job that you're doing and you in general. So do you want to just introduce yourself one by one and telling us a bit of your story and the project you're working on at the moment? I know you all have other projects, so do you want to start, Christy?
Sure, that'd be great. Well, thank you again for organizing this. This is so awesome. Working on Spiral has been a flippin' dream. I know I'm so excited to get more involved because I've seen, some of the newer scripts. I'm so jazzed. But yes, hello everybody. My name is Christy, and I am a Canadian living in Hamilton, just outside of Toronto. For all my stalkers that are looking for me, there you go. And I've been doing voice acting now for about 4 years professionally. In my 9 to 5, I am a podcast audience growth marketer, which is very cool. But otherwise, voice acting is my absolute favorite thing to do in the whole wide world. And right now, I'd say the biggest thing I'm working on, besides Spiral and a couple of other fun projects, is I am the voice of Nissan Canada for the next little while, which is kind of fun. A very random thing to have been bestowed upon me, and I was very excited. So if you hear any commercials on the radio or hear the super at the end of a TV spot, that's his face right here behind the microphone. So that's me.
Cool. I wanted to, since in fact I have an audition story about each one of you, because the reason I wanted to put you all together because I was a big fan of the 3 of you. So at the beginning when you auditioned for Sophie, you sent a lot of take, but like a lot for all of them, and I was like, I need her. And Miguel was asking, but which take? I don't know, I don't care, take her. I just need her to be there. And we were asking ourselves if we wanted just 1 Sophie or 2 Sophie, because girls are easier to move around from child to adulthood. And I was like, I don't care, choose who you want for the child, but I want her as Sophie. I just like her so much. I like the energy, and I was stalking all of you on social media trying to find more information. I was like, no, that's the one we want. We want all that come with her, and she's just so sweet. So I'm really glad I met you.
Get out of here, oh my goodness, I'm gonna cry. Oh, thank you, it was so nice. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm just seriously, I'll gush about this game and about everything you folks are doing until I'm blue in the face. It's so special. It is. It's so special. I'm so grateful that I get to tell people that I'm part of it. So
when we start and we're asking people to audition for a character, we were like, but we are no one. We're just trying to find voice. We're gonna find people that don't really know what they're doing, same as us. They're just gonna try it and it's gonna work. And at the end, we just end up with so many talented people and great people that are doing such a great job, and I don't know why we deserve that, but I'm really happy about it.
that's a really talented cast. Just from playing the demo, it's just.
Dix, did you want to talk a bit about yourself also?
Sure, I love to talk about myself. I'm Diggs. It's funny that you said that immediately before about like as you were starting to reach out for people to audition, because Spiral is the first like legitimate gig that I booked, I would say. And so I've been voice acting for about like 2 years now. I started when I maybe a little bit more. I started when I went into grad school for television screenwriting, and I started doing it on the side to just balance out like writing and voice acting, because they seem to kind of go hand in hand. But I was doing a lot of like really small like bit things, and then this was the first like ooh big project, and so it's wild to hear the other side of it is like, who would voice for Mirrors? I'm me. Please, please, please pick me. Uh, but since recording for Spiral, I've started working on a couple podcasts. Right now, I'm in the midst of crowdfunding for this show called The Sound Museum, which is basically like think like a Monster of the Week style, but it's Location of the Week, and someone recording impossible sounds. And I play sort of if you've seen the film Venom, like that, but in a tape recorder.
Oh, cool!
And we're doing a live stream reading of one of its episodes Saturday.
Nice.
And then I'm writing a little bit for The Grey Rooms, which is a horror podcast. If anyone is yes.
What?
Share the link on our Discord so people can reach and go see. I know you've shared something also. You've shared your podcast in the past, so don't hesitate. If you have anything going on, just share on our Discord. We want to know about it.
I'm writing one of the frame arcs for season 5.
I'm in the Grey Rooms. That's so cool. What? That's so rad. Oh man, that's such a great show.
It is. I'm very excited. I wrote one episode for season 4, and then I'm excited to be working on. I'm actually on my other screen right after this. I have to finish a bonus episode.
Nice.
That's amazing. Oh, I'm so. And
Great.
Graham Rowent is just
Graham is
the
incredible.
bee's knees. What an incredible human. That's so cool though. I love how podcasting and like video voiceover is such a small community. So cool. I'm sorry, I'm gonna geek out a lot. That's wicked.
It's perfect. That's what we want. First, when I don't remember which one of us just start being so fan of your audition, but when you audition, your voice was a bit too deep for really young Bernard, so we were not sure. But at the beginning, we wanted to just have a child and have the adult playing it, and I was like, no, it's the perfect teen voice for Bernard.
I
We
don't
need.
remember either which one of us, if it was you or me, but we heard you. It's not working for Bernard child, but
We need to find a way.
hard.
We just need
So-
it. In fact,
Well-
all of your story was us at some time being like, we need you, but we need to find a way to have you. And he has a TikTok and doing FX and is doing so much great things. So go follow him also. Follow all of them. They are amazing. You need to follow them. Mark, do you want to talk a bit about yourself too?
Sure. I mean, just like Diggs, this is my first official video game that I'm involved in, so it's a very special thing for me. I got into this specifically to get into voice acting for video games. I've been working with Chad of Fallout 76 podcasts. I don't know if anyone really follows the Fallout community, but the Fallout community mods and the podcasts are really kind of huge. It's because Bethesda's been very supportive of that community. We actually went to Bethesda game days and got to perform, and I got to meet Pete Hines, and we got to hang out together and drink beer and all that kind of cool stuff.
That
So we have
chat
that, we
Fallout
have-
66 is telling you that your volume is low. I don't hear, so I don't know, but it's telling you that your volume is low.
Well, I
Thank
can
you.
turn myself up. I don't know if it's going to be loud for you.
For me, it's all right.
There, I ramped
Sorry.
myself up here. But anyways, like I said, yeah, Chad Fallout 76. That's the thing that got me into voice acting.
Wow.
More successful than I had any right to be initially. We got a lot of following. We got about like 500,000 listeners or follows and stuff like that. It's pretty big for a podcast. And then in that community, I've just kind of spread out. There's several other podcasts, and there's several other groups. Uranium Fever's a guy who does YouTube videos. I voice a lot of the characters for him, or a fair number. So I spread out. 5-0 is a group that does reenactments within the game. And then, I mean, there's several others that, of course, I'm forgetting. But so that's what I'm in, because I'm trying to get into work on Fallout or any Bethesda property. I've spent way too much money to become a voice actor, and I'm not. I have no right to spend the money I have. Like, I'm
Voice
not
actor,
successful.
though.
Oh,
You are.
Yes.
I mean, I'm successful enough for me. That's all that matters. Because my day job is I'm a primary care physician. So
Oh, wow.
I'm a doctor, and I did this so I didn't go insane.
When you auditioned the first time, because you auditioned for Bernard the first time, and the fact that you present yourself is the thing I repeat every time that people ask me, how am I supposed to audition? Just have your voice, tell your name, be yourself, then do the voice that you want to do for the audition. Because at some point, when I've heard you for Bernard, I was like, it's not the right voice, but I really, really like that voice. I really like it. So when we auditioned for Robert, we didn't find a fit. And I was like, do you remember the doctor, the one that was doing the audition for Bernard, but it didn't work? I want us to contact him. I want him to try it because I like that voice. So just the fact that you are saying your name and being yourself at the beginning is the thing that I always say to everyone. So like that, when you audition, you have the sample of you and you have the sample of what they try. So if you like the voice, you can just push it for something else. So I really, really fall in love with your voice. So I was really happy when you were a fit for Robert.
I appreciate that. Now, I will tell you, after hearing Bernard, I mean, you made the right choice. He's fantastic.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean,
So good.
no hard feelings. It's just the right choice.
Yeah,
But
big fan.
you as the dad, though, there were a couple of times I got teary playing the demo. I was just like, this is so fun, so much love in his voice, just like cares about his kid.
I appreciate that. Like, I go back to it and I go, oh man, I'm so much better now. Like, Bush League. That's what I felt like.
It's so funny.
I just really like
Sophia is my daughter's name,
Yeah. Really?
like in real life. Yeah. So,
Nice.
there
It
you go.
was meant to be.
That's awesome.
And I like it.
I feel
Go ahead. I'm always
Oh, I was
talking.
gonna
Go.
same. No, I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't mention my podcast now too, because I'm a total dink and totally forgot that I was like have a pretty good podcast too. I do a lot of work with Fable and Folly, which is an indie kind of like fiction podcast network, and I am on this show that I created called Civilized, which is a sci-fi comedy, which is really fun. And then get to do things like By Dying and what are some of the other ones? The Grey Rooms, which is wicked. I'm like real in digs. That's so rad. But no, the podcast community, like I love that we're all in it because it's such a rad space. Like everybody's so lovely, and it gets you in the door to get to do wicked projects like this.
And being
crossover
friendly
and
with people.
overlap.
Go-
Yeah.
I was gonna say the crossover and overlap, like in the podcast community, becomes like, it's kind of ridiculous at a certain point. It's like a chart of dating in a high school marching band. Everybody has worked with everybody else constantly, and it's great. It's so much fun.
Yeah, that's a really good metaphor.
Perfect.
I know that we don't have any other Bernard or other Sophie, but I really like the fact that when we listen to the tiny Bernard and the old Bernard, I don't know, the flow of it just works so well. I don't know, I don't know what we did, but we did something right on that. But because it's just so cute. I just love the fact that Tiny Bernard is becoming you, and you're becoming after that Mike, who has such a beautiful voice. But just it just goes so well together.
We had a Bernard call towards it was before we recorded, but the three of us and then little Bernard's mom all hopped on a Discord
Yes.
call together and just kind of chatted. And all of our natural speaking voices sound so wildly different from each other. But then like actually playing through the demo, I had a couple. I'm like, I don't know if that's me or mini me. I know it's not grown me, but it's one of the two of us. Yeah, we had a fun time. It was good. Little Bernard's mom is also a voice actor, so she was
Yes.
wonderful to talk to at that point as well. She had a lot of good advice for recording stuff. It was great.
She was so nice. We also tried to put her in at some point, but we were not able to find a fit because we really liked her and she was good, but all of this. And we had Tiny Bernard at the right time, but because he probably changed his voice at the moment since he's grown so much since the beginning of
He was
it.
right there.
It was so cute. I think I've posted a picture of him on our Facebook page. It was so cute. If you look like a tiny bit like Bernard, and both of them together are so cute.
You know, Jess, you mentioned a couple times, like, we didn't deserve to get any, great actors, and we got great actors, and I really appreciate that. And then a couple times you've been kind of very modest, I think is the word. I want you to understand, I've played a lot of video games, done a lot of things in my life, and the demo hit harder than any game I've ever played, ever.
They did such a great job. I agree. I like it a lot too. But it's just because we're coming from nothing, because we just build that from his idea and try to do something with it. So every time we step on just the next level, just having voice actor is such a big thing. I've done acting in the past, and the fact that having a voice for those characters is just such an amazing thing, and finding the right people and finding the right voice for it is just I'm really happy about all of you.
Well, I know I'm happy to be here. I mean, again, I'll do whatever I can to make this a success for you guys. I mean, I feel, again, genuinely thankful that this is my first experience with an actual gig. So, yeah. Ask me anything.
Well, I hate that I'm here. I think this is a waste of time, and this is just, no, 100%.
Like Sophie. Yeah. My
Just
kids
like
all the time.
Sophie. Oh,
I
you're
think
right,
kind of
though.
like jumping off what Jess said, it's I don't even think like the first time that I played Spiral with Mick and Jeff, there was voice. Like we had the subtitles, I think, maybe at that point, but we hadn't had any of the voice cast. We were like super at the beginning of it, if I remember, and just like hearing the voice, you guys doing what you do, like for the first time, I was like, oh my god, because you can understand the concept and like Mick can pitch it really well and everything, but then you hear the voice and you're like, now I want to cry. Like I wanted to cry before, but now I really want to cry.
It makes
You
such a
guys
big difference.
Yeah.
The second there was the announcement of, instead of doing it in episodes, like condensing it into one game, I was immediately in chat bothering about like, okay, so did I kind of at least read the script? Like what I'd like to consume this content, if not like record it. Let's go. So I'm standing like on a New York subway on the way to my job, like on my phone trying to like get something to download. Like I would like to read this before my day. Holding on to my phone because it's a public New York subway and I don't want to get got, but like trying to read about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes. Oh, there's no Dungeons and Dragons in the
Sorry, Griffins and Gargoyles.
I'm so hype about the chapter 2, the part that you've read and all of those. The beginning of the game is just such a great thing, but just become much more meaningful when you're going into the chapter 2, and chapter 2 have so much exciting thing. I'm really 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 excited to show more to people. I don't know if I have the right or if I will ever have the right to do it, but I'm really excited for for this.
I shared with you it's scene 8 and scene 9, right? You didn't saw scene 7. I think at the moment most of the team is especially excited about scene 7. So I'm just teasing you, telling you you did not
Yes.
read it, but scene 7 is
You didn't send
something
that
else.
one? That's
8 and 9.
mean. That's mean.
We're getting inside tea.
I'm
Yeah,
leaving
what
this
scenery?
call.
All of us are like in Discord right now. Like, what are they talking about? Where's the script?
I'm gonna be less mean than he is. It's the character of Bernard meeting his friend, but just the way it's done and the way we can just go in deep into each of them is just really really pretty.
We play with the scene itself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's gonna be
especially
cool.
one section with it's with Danny.
Yeah.
That
Vanille.
one is, yeah, that one is exciting.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. And at the moment, we're working on scene 6, 7, and 8 for the level design. So those scenes are all currently exist. They are very far from being finished, and there's no level art at all. But you can play through them and see the dialogue with the subtitles and things like that. So
It's gonna be much better with voice.
definitely,
So I'm
it's slowly
curious.
getting there.
I'm curious. What drove you all to create this game? Because this is definitely not your typical type of side scroller hack and slash. I mean, it's an emotional ride. I mean, you got to really be ready for it.
Yeah, it's like the first 5 minutes of Up.
Yes, that's
Amen.
true.
No one
hits
was
that
ready for
hard.
the first 5 minutes of Up.
Nobody, never.
I'm still not ready for the first 5 minutes.
Adventure is out there. Oh God.
Thanks for this. You've ruined the rest of my night.
I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna
Look
think
at
about that.
Spiral. It's like Up but worse.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like up, but you have to do it yourself.
That's right. You've got to live
You
through
might
it.
as well call it down. Let's get real.
Wow.
I agree. This is exactly what we should say at events next time. It's like Up. Just
If you
Like Up, but you're in control and you're doing this.
Okay.
Right.
It's all your fault.
We need
come
to discuss
spiral
something.
down.
There's been a fight between me and Melissa to all PAX because the first day, after maybe an hour or two, someone came to the booth and cried while playing the demo. And I
Yeah.
turned to her and said, "We need to bring tissues if
Or
they
not.
need them." And she refused, saying it was unhearting and will prevent people from playing the game. We can hide them if we need them. So what do you think?
It's like, no,
Every
the salt
single
from
day
their
it was like-
tears makes the game stronger.
That would
That's
be
the
a,
point. That
would be a
demo,
great-
I've never had an experience in game that demo did. That demo was like, oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Like, when everything
See, but
starts
that
to
should be a
fade,
surprise.
Yeah, if you want to feel something in this world of kind of gray and nothing's new, holy cow, get a hold of the demo and then some tissues.
yeah, bring them with you.
Yeah,
but
and then
it's,
call your grandma or grandpa,
Oh.
tell them you love them.
But the
'cause it's a
thing is, too, I mean, when we're talking about a game like this, what's kind of cool about it is that, one, it is at its core like an entertaining piece of art that you're creating for the world. Absolutely. Like, that is the fundamental of what a video game can bring. But at the same time, it's like an education at the same, like it's something that you could use to help people process and begin the process of what grieving is, not only just for the families that are going to be watching their, the person in their life experiencing cognitive degeneration, but also for the person who's been diagnosed with cognitive degeneration. Something like this could be a piece of art that they get to process their grief through. and it's like a joyful experience. It's really special.
That's our hope. Uh, we are not expert in that. It's not something we can say it's going to help people, but if it can, even if it's only a few people, make all of this worth it even more, and we'd be very happy. It helps just anyone.
And he is the
Well, I
one
think-
behind the beginning of Spiral. He is the one behind the idea and the why. I know he doesn't like it. I'll say that every time, but I know he doesn't like when I say it's him, but it's him. So he's the one behind it.
Well, I mean, I've worked with the Alzheimer's Association. Wes Johnston, who's the voice actor in a lot of Fallout games and a lot of Bethesda properties, and he's the guy who calls all the games for the Washington Capitals hockey. You know, he's very passionate about Alzheimer's due to his family history. Grandma and mom had Alzheimer's. So this isn't my first rodeo with this stuff, but I'll tell you what, I didn't understand it nearly as much until I tried the demo. And I take care of people with Alzheimer's. I take care of people with dementia. I take care of people with any kind of cognitive decline. But until you experience that kind of, it is so insidious and so just, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain how beautiful your game is and how much you need to like decompress afterwards. And I don't want to scare people away, but honestly,
I do.
wow, you gotta be a strong person to just go and like, no, I'm just gonna play a game now, because you're not gonna.
The game itself will be a lot less dark than the demo is, because the demo is really all of it in just 15 minutes. The game aimed at telling the story of Bernard, and really you follow him, and with him you're losing what you take for granted, but it's not as dark as the demo. The demo was really trying to show to the player what he's gonna go through in the 8 hours of the game, but it's really, really more intense. But the goal is really to create a conversation and open people to understand that those people are the one that go through it, and we need to be patient and we need to be loving and caring for them, because yes, it's sad because they don't remember us, but at the same time they don't remember people around them and they feel alone, so we just want people to just understand more that part too.
You know, I hate to overstate it. I honestly feel like anyone, like you could put this in the hands of literally the entire community of people who have to deal with this, or the whole community who wants to help folks. I mean, it may be too hard for, you know, people living with it, or maybe too hard for people who are going through it as a family member, but people who want to help the community, the people who want to find a cure, I can't think of a better tool. I mean, it's a game at its heart, and there should be fun to it, and I'm sure there's fun to it. But again, it's transcendent in that art form to being more than just a game. And I can't tell you how excited I am to play the whole thing.
How about Chat Fallout 76 was talking about What Remained of Edith Finch that he played recently. It's one of those games that help us build what we wanted Spiral to be. So What Remained of Edith Finch is a perfect game in my opinion. It's so beautiful.
Good.
Yes.
Ugh.
The-
Heartbreaking.
Yes.
Oh my god, the fish.
Yes, but it's so well done. It is so well done. The
Yeah.
work they did on that is just amazing.
You know, and not to kick people in the pants, because I know a lot of us have lost somebody, but if it makes someone go out and tell someone they love them before, you know, they don't have a chance to do it again, my goodness, what a gift.
It's true.
Yep.
Let's talk about happy stuff. I'm sorry.
I
did
have a transition topic.
Yes.
Slightly,
Good.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Save us.
There is something very specific to me about the actual like art style of the game, like the actual way it looks has, I think, because there are like it's a little like exaggerated with certain features but not every feature, and it makes it really easy to like cling on to certain details and picture them in your mind. I'm not a very like I can't like imagine a cow and rotate it in my head. I could describe it to you in 1 to 50,000 words, but you know, it doesn't fit. But like with this particular art style, like I can see like that door and I can see like the slope of Bernard's back and stuff like that. And it like I feel like there's something, I don't know, intentional or not, that makes it very like pinpoint visual in a way that's very helpful for overall theme, overall story, and just like your own, as you look back on it, you experience it in a similar way. But it's also like at the same time so pretty.
It's so pretty.
Like, man, I wish I could like I'm crying. I wish I could see these graphics better, man, because they're just kind of like nice and I'm having a chill dreamscape time. But oh god.
When we start
I
working
know,
on the art, we really wanted to grasp that dreamlike thing. So your mind don't remember everything, but you remember the shape or the color, kind of. And objects are not. They can be the same if they're not particularly special. So if you have in mind something that you really remember because you're really attached to it and it's something really important to you, so you remember it right. But other than that, it's kind of just to fill in. So we really wanted to that kind of mind trying to do his own thing and don't really care about what you want to remember. So you can find objects that are gonna be in one scene and in another one, but it's not necessarily the same one, but you don't really know because it's mine.
It works.
It does.
Yay.
I mean, it's all very beautiful. And again, this brings up that point. You're like, oh, we were nothing. Well, I mean, you're an indie game, so you're new, definitely not nothing. How did you collect so many talented people? Did you just know each other? And you're like, hey, let's make a game.
Kelken, go ahead.
Core theme. The core theme at the very, 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 very beginning, when we were just conceptualizing and trying to figure out what would be the game. It was with Audrey, which is our art director, and Stefan, who worked with us for a few months, I think maybe a year in the beginning, doing concepts and trying to help create what would be eventually the visuals for Spiral. And afterwards, as she said, luck, we send out the first year when we were just starting and we had absolutely nothing built from aside from a few ideas. We sent out a few job announcements saying to people that we're dirt poor. We had absolutely no money, but we were searching for people that would had to give us a hand for either nothing or just a symbolic pay. And a few people answered the call and said, well, I like the idea, I would like to participate with you. And most of those, I think, are not with us anymore. They give us the first kick to start the game, and eventually when the prototype came to be, we were able to showcase that's what we're working on, our people are interested, and we started to figure out how to pay people, and while we still pay them so few compared to what they deserve, we are at least able to pay them now. And yeah, we tend not do job announcement anymore. We are lurking on portfolios, LinkedIn, and see someone who said that person seems to be a fit, and we contact them and ask them if they want to work with us. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, it's a strange strategy we are using. I don't think it's the usual one, but it seems to be working so far.
I mean, it's labor intensive, but I think it's doing the job.
There's so many talented people that don't believe in themselves. So we can grab them, take care of them, and then push them into the world.
Hi, my babies. cool.
I'm having fun at saying that we are becoming an unofficial incubator in Montreal. People that did not find a job after school, and we grab them and we make them work on Spiral for less than what they deserve. And after a few months, they are able to apply for a full-time job somewhere else, and then continue and live on in the industry. Some of them stay with us. We're looking at someone right now that stayed with us.
Hi, Melissa.
And you
And
just
some others
described an
are
internship.
not.
Well, it's nice too though, because what you're sort of giving them is an actual product that they can take and showcase, which is so hard to have when you're starting out, especially in an industry like video games, because you can have your school projects, but how can you show the validity of those beyond school? And so to say that you got hired at a company that is, not faded, it's got content that is regularly being posted, that's being updated, that's constantly going from, I remember what Spiral looked like at the beginning to what it is now. Like, its growth is exponential. It's a really cool opportunity, because then even if you're only with you for 6 months, sure, you say that you're paying them less than they deserve, and it's nice that you acknowledge that, but at the same time, it's something that they now get to say, well, yeah, I worked on that for 6 months. That really cool game that's won all these awards right now, yeah, I got to work on that. That was pretty cool.
They have their
And it got
name
me
in
my
it.
job at Ubisoft.
I think there ends up being a lot of talk. I mean, of course, pay is very important. In the indie game industry, I don't see it. I just don't see it surviving on, people who aren't just passionate. You need that passion for the indie game companies. Now, I mean, if there's people out there who are doing it with no passion, they were just trying to rake in a bunch of money. I've always said to folks that this topic comes up, I say, if you're making $100 million and you're not paying people, shame on you. But if you're an indie game company and you are upfront with it, you're saying, hey, we would love to pay you more. We can't. Here's what we have. I mean, folks like us who want to get into this industry, it's valuable for that experience. It's valuable for the real. It's valuable to have a character you voice that you can go, this is Robert. This is a guy I voiced. Here's a picture of him that I can use and show other people. It's just like Christy said. I mean, there's a lot of value there. And I think from my point of view, and certainly it sounds like from Christy's point of view, and I'm sure from Diggs as well. I mean, I chose this. I'm an adult. I decided I'd do this, and it's a great project, and I gained that value, and I wouldn't trade it at all.
Oh, I explain and brag being in this game all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I brag all the
totally.
time.
Like, oh well, I'm a voice actor, but like, there's this. I'm working on a couple of things, but there's like this one thing that I'm working on. It's like a video game. It's like it's really cool. But like, it's the explain and brag being like, oh, this thing.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about why it's so cool. Okay.
Spiral is the only video game that my mother knows by name.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm really
Got
glad
some
about that one.
You got to Janet, and if you can get to Janet, it's good.
You can say hi to her from us.
I will tell her that game she knows about says hello.
Yes, the game, not us, just the game.
Yeah.
Christy, I'm glad I'm not the only one who's like, yeah, I mean, I do a game. I mean, it's no big deal.
No, I saw. So the only other video game that I've worked on that was like it's out in the world right now is something called Detour Bus, and it's another indie game. For I have just as for any voice actors listening or voice actors out there, something that I have an agent in Toronto that I work with at Butler Rest and Bell, and they're great. But a lot of the time, if I want to fill my extra hours with extra hours, lol. But if I want to fill any time that I have with, looking for other projects on my own, I use backstage.com, which is where I found Spiral. And in my opinion, it's the safest kind of like pay to play that there is. And some of the coolest projects that I've been a part of I found on Backstage. And Detour Bus is this like VR game where I play someone named Mama Flowers, and we're on this cross country tour. You don't ever see us, but you literally build the road for the bus and try not to kill us. But comparing that to Spiral, like it's funny because like Detour Bus was really fun, but Spiral is impactful. So like while it's really really enjoyable to, you know, get to be a part of that game, Spiral's the one I brag about a lot of the time. Sorry for the Detour, if anyone watching from Detour Bus. Detour Bus won a BAFTA. I'll put that out. But like,
Well, now I want to
Spiral-
play it, so it still works.
Yeah.
but,
It's a plug.
yeah, there you go. But yeah, just speaking to the voice acting world though, like I wouldn't have seen Spiral if I wasn't on Backstage, and I love that it's, you know, gotten to be this really cool part of our lives over the next few years as you develop it. Like, take all the time you want. Let us be involved with this. You know, I know you're
Call me up,
itching
I'll
to
do
get
more
it out
lines.
into the world, but let's do this. Like, let's keep it going for a while longer.
I'm always saying, can we just give them something so they can record, so they don't think we disappear, so they don't go away, please. And Michael is like, no, it's not a good idea. We need to do everything at the same time.
I follow so many projects and so many voice actors because that's what I do most of the time is not record, but I just follow other people doing their thing. And I'll tell you right now, I mean, from what they've been saying with NDAs and all the other things, they're not even mildly involved until way later. They've even forgotten they did it. So this is
unique.
I mean, I think we're more involved than we think we are.
Yeah,
Here
it's
we
like
are.
it's like with the Bob's Burgers cast actually get to stand in a room together and do their recording. But what other space gets to do that? And it's the same thing with Spiral. Like, you've let us become so involved, and we get to be in this really cool niche of like being a part of the process and getting to watch the process and getting to be a part of the community. That's so special. Like, what a gift.
I think it's probably because we don't know what
Like,
others do,
what they
because
did
it just makes sense. Like, we're really happy to have you on board, and you're really great people, and you have a lot of things to say, and you're interesting. So why don't just bring you in and you have your take on it and your opinion and share things, because we're happy you're there and we don't pay you so much money. So yeah, I think since the beginning we have that you're giving us something. Yes, we're giving money, but you're giving your time and your talent, so we want to share as much as possible what we can. So if it's not with cash, and I think it's quite interesting to be a part of it and have something before others do. So I think we just always work like that on every part. Like, we just want others to say what they think, and if it can help us, we're gonna take it.
Well, I mean, I'll always take a stock option if that's on the table at some point. You know what I mean? Like, I'll what are the deals here?
mall openings, you know,
Yeah.
it's fine. I'll kiss babies.
Yeah, perfect.
You got a baby around?
I have a puppy.
No, God, no.
Puppy, but that's all. Just a puppy.
There's a cat somewhere.
I mean, honestly,
cat's
after COVID, I don't even shake hands anymore. I fist bump. I'm not kissing
elbow.
anybody.
You can fist bump my puppy if you want. Oh, a black cat.
This is Arthur.
Hello.
Arthur
I'm not
is a
sure he
typical
wants to
cat.
be there. He wants to be
Right.
paid to be in
Arthur's like,
camera.
no. If you were trying not to have him on your lap, then he'd be there.
Absolutely.
What is his full name, Diggs?
His name is Prince Arthur, the once and future king of Camelot.
Nice.
That's perfect.
He's a rescue, and he already came pre-named Arthur. And part of my undergrad degree, I studied a bunch of Arthuriana, so I'm like, you're coming on me.
It's meant to be. You are my cat in the stone.
Yes, it was very like, all right, I'll be Sir Ector. I'll take care of you until you're old enough to prove yourself to be king. It'll be fine. But the real joke of it is now his name almost feels like a joke, because personality-wise, he's way closer to Percival or Mordred. Because he's my son, so his love language is mischief and crime.
Aww.
Good name for him also would be Loki.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. But he when I first got, he's a huge animal now, but when I first got him, he wasn't big enough to have had most of his shots, and he was a Trojan horse of worms.
No.
Yeah, it was terrible.
What
He
a
got,
gross description.
he got dewormed 3 times in the first like 2 months of his life. But now he's massive and mean and loving.
You got your money's worth out of your degree, buddy. You got some great descriptions. Brava. Trojan horse of worms.
What else are you gonna do with a classics degree,
A
right?
nightmare tonight because of you.
Well, I am by trade a horror writer, so I'm glad it's all working.
Solid work.
A
Wow.
nerd needs to write a script. It's true.
Mm.
It'll just be about. It'll get real dark real fast.
Welcome to the nightmare section.
You won't forget these.
Right.
Hey, remember that time when you were 12 and you asked a girl at school and she laughed at you? Well, guess what? You'll think about that when you're 80 still. All these good memories that you have of childhood and of, being an adult and finding love, no, they're gone, but that one remains. Hey, remember that other time you talked to a person and they didn't hear you, so they looked at you and took out a headphone and said, "What?" And then you said the joke, but they didn't laugh? That still haunts you too, Bernard.
Wow. I mean,
Just-
what? Wow.
It's a montage of his most embarrassing middle school moment.
We can do a
Hey,
DLC
remember
about that.
time
My friend Kenny, who's Chad Fallout 76, said you got to write a script. I'm like, yeah, you do. He should invite you. You could write one. It'd be too scary. You'd be coming along. You're like, oh, walk along and
I told my mother that one of my like middle of the road dreams is to write a Halloween script for Hallmark that only gets to be aired once.
Please do.
like the missing Hallmark.
I want it to get aired once and there to be enough complaints that it's not aired again. And that's what I would like to do.
Cult
So-
classic immediately.
Yes.
days, I actually am writing a script that is a Hallmark horror.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's something
Okay, so
that need to
You
happen.
guys are like besties
I'm gonna
already.
be texting you for like hours.
Let's do it. Let's work.
You guys
Let's
are on the
collab,
same
baby.
podcast. You're on the same video game.
It's meant to be. It's meant to be.
Hey.
But no, that I also just did a 10 show run at the Fringe of like improvised Hallmark movies.
Oh no.
And we got in big trouble one night because there was in the town the love interest was remembering the night that her parents died in the horrible brick massacre where they were all these bricks just exploded and killed the whole town, and our producer was not pleased after the run. They said Hallmark doesn't include the word massacre, and the audience liked it, but true diehard Hallmarks, and there were a couple of ladies who were like, oh no! So
That's Janet.
after that, we stuck to Christmas. Stuck to Christmas.
I got
No
enough.
one spoke of the brick massacre again.
And that
That's
comes
kinda
soon
sad.
to Hallmark. No one speaks of the brick massacre.
I suddenly feel inadequate with my other voice actors.
Don't.
They're like,
We need to have you every week. Okay, you're gonna be there with me, so you can be funny. I need you more with me all the time.
Can we just talk
So
for a
good.
second about the hair moment that you were having, Jess? My God, it's
What a reveal.
stunning.
luscious. It's Vidal Sassoon.
You look like Triss from like Triss Marigold, or
That's nice.
yeah. I'm trying to think of like
L'Oreal
Amy Adams,
commercials.
L'Oreal commercials.
Thank you.
You should be on a horse.
Yeah.
I was going to say something early on when we were the only two in the room, but it seemed very thirsty. Like, No, that's not how I'm going to introduce myself. Like, hey, I like your hair.
With my boyfriend coming up in the back.
Hey, say it in front of your kids. Say it in front of your
Right.
kids.
Hey, I really like that.
My
Sorry, I have
ear
Every
thing.
time
toys.
you do that, I'm jarred. I am jarred. Oh,
Chart.
my dog is now outside of my office wanting to come in.
Oh, let him in.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'll get him.
Did it take you out of the game? My voice changer.
Yeah.
Oh, the immersion. The suspension of disbelief.
Terrible, terrible. We can tell it's digital. Freaking auto-tune.
Echo.
Is that a puppy? Yes, it's a puppy.
Oh, so cute.
Come here.
Is it?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
what happened?
Now we moved around.
Oh no! What happened?
Hey, I'm still in the same place. That's all that matters.
Oh, everything's
Hi,
come back
baby.
the same thing. It's perfect. Thank you so
You're so
much.
lucky.
Oh, I know, puppy.
I love that you have a Secret Labs Titan chair.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Oh yes. Thank you, husband.
Very
Interesting.
swanky.
Yes, that was the husband. I got it for a Christmas present for me.
Mhm.
Okay.
I do a lot of Christmas presents for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the best
But
way
it's
to
great.
find the perfect gift. You cannot go wrong with that.
I bought
See-
myself a toy
Ooh.
just because I wanted a toy. It's a Legend
Nice.
of Zelda.
Nice. My husband owns a used video game store
Oh.
and like a
Let's be
retro
friends.
arcade. Yeah, he's
Can we?
rad. Yeah,
Hang out.
we're all right. Let's do it. But that's actually how Mark and I met, my husband, because I speaking of video games, I fell deeply, deeply in love with Garrus Vakarian from Mass Effect. Like played
Yeah.
the games for a
Yeah.
month after I was laid off from my first ever big girl job. Through romantic feelings, like I would deny it, but no, they were like I didn't go outside, so like it was Stockholmy, but at the same time not, because he's the sexiest Birdman that's ever existed. Let's be real. And when the game ended,
No.
as abruptly as it did, I didn't know what to do with myself because I was no longer, employed for the first time in my life, and I just, ended things with my bird alien man, and I didn't know. I was like, what? I could either start applying for jobs,
Or redo
or
it.
I could go check out that retro video game store that was down the street. So I went in, and that's how I met my husband. He was
Your
he
husband was a
owns-
The
rebound
best
from a
next
video
thing
game.
from Garrus.
I said Garrus' name in my vows. Yeah, in front of everybody, and literally, I was just like, I really, this means a lot to me, Mark. And nobody got the joke, except for like 10 people. And so those 10 people laughed, but everyone else was like, did you just...
I
like,
think
super
it's even
embarrassed.
funnier that they don't know about it and they think to just misname him.
Well, we were at a con once. We were at Anime North in Toronto, and there was a guy there
Oh.
who was cosplaying as Garrus. And someone said it, and I was standing with Mark, and I looked at him and went, I'm so sorry, and disappeared. And I could not find him. I could not find him. I'm convinced that the universe kept me away from this man because I would have just, for
Used
children
your
in the
hall
room,
pass.
look away. Yeah, it would have been my hall pass.
They knew.
And I would have come back, hair tousled, and 7 jacket in rags, just like, worth it, baby.
It wa-
I don't know. I fulfilled something.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly, you gotta
Yeah.
have priorities.
yeah, you go find your Aerith, it's fine.
My video game crush of the same sort of caliber you're talking about was GLaDOS from Portal.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
a weird
so-
one, and I love it.
Ooh, baby, GLaDOS. And the closest I've gotten at cons is people dressed as Chell, and then they have sort of like Audrey 2 style, like the puppet, like on one arm, and it'll be like, oh, okay, very, very cool cosplay, love it, love it. I'm talking to her. Thank you.
You're like, this isn't a furry thing,
No.
okay? It's just
No.
the fact that
It's
She's
it's
alive
worry,
with
worry.
You know, the funny
So
thing is
first.
I was just working with the voice actor who did Gladys.
Don't say that to Diggs.
Yeah.
It's
You
too
need
real.
to make the connection now.
I have way too much COVID brain to remember her name, and I feel terrible.
Ellen McLean.
Yeah. So we did.
I love that he knows.
But that's the thing. Is I don't remember crap.
Well, see, in
Thank you
my
for
vows,
remembering it.
I
Made
would
me
say
feel-
it dead.
But we just worked with her. Yeah, because that Wes and the Alzheimer's Association. So. And then Chad, the Fallout 76. So.
If anybody
He
can
brings
make
them
the
in.
link between those two, things that need to
You
happen.
know, now you could write an episode or something for us, and maybe we could introduce you to, and it could be a thing. Or I think they might be coming on to King Kong Cruise. If you want to go down to the Bahamas, you could meet John St. John's, West, and a bunch of other voice actors.
Right now, all Diggs is hearing is Hall & Oates in the background. Just, you make
I thought it was more
my
like Careless
dreams
Whispers.
come true.
Just hearing the Aperture Science radio, but it's playing all of just like beach, like Bahamas vacation music.
Now, does that mean you're just like into like people being so sarcastic that it's like gets you
Yeah.
going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what being into GLaDOS says about me, but she's great.
Yeah.
And that's what I have to say about that.
She's a wonderful human being, by the way. Funny as hell.
I believe it.
I mean, funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. We did a crossover episode from our podcast with Oblivion for
Mm-hmm.
The Elder Scrolls type stuff. So we did a
Oh.
Fallout Elder Scrolls crossover. Yeah, it was super cool.
That's so cool.
Look at these communities.
I know.
This little-
Well, the whole high school dating thing that he
High
said.
school marching band.
I was like,
baby.
oh my god, there's never been a greater comparison ever.
See, I didn't
I mean,
do.
So many things that cross over.
I was in high school marching band. I was drama improv geek, so like it was even worse. But it was so much more dramatic because you'd act out your breakups on stage, and then you'd look at each other, and you'd be like, "Yeah, you know this is about you, Derek." Like, you know.
See, I just sat in the pit orchestra and listened to those happen, and then gave like a wah wah wah.
It's hilarious how much our paths are similar. I mean, I was in music and I was in band in
Nice.
high school, and I have a minor in music from college. So yeah, just
What'd you play?
I was a vocalist actually, but I play the percussion.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got really hyped when Diggs mentioned Audrey too. I was like, musical theater child.
I
Yes,
was
come to
Seymour.
me.
I
Seymour
was
is a
Seymour in
dream
Little
role.
Shop of Horrors.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
My favorite that I've ever done was Kate Monster and Lucy in Avenue Q.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, what a great one.
that's so good. So good.
I played
Also, the conversation is getting spicy on
Yeah.
on the
And
Twitch stream.
I
Spicy.
can't see Twitch stream right now.
I would look at it more, but I gotta turn my head to my other computer.
It's just because
I didn't
it's
set it up on my other monitor.
so interesting there, and I try to read, and I like, but I'm missing, but I'm reading, but I'm missing. I don't know.
It's okay.
Spicy
It's okay.
thing in the chat.
I was gonna say my only like theater claim to fame is I've done a lot of like random like bit parts for things, but like on stage is just Wicked Witch of the West.
Nice.
What? I
High school
love
was
it.
a weird time.
Yeah, again, great quote. High school was a weird time for everyone, literally across every ever.
Definitely.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
I think I got weirder in university when I was
did it?
finally like free for the first time.
That's very fair.
Went a little wild.
I had too much marching band in high school.
Yeah, marching band in college was nuts.
Yup. Oh God.
Oh my God, half a credit class, 20 hours a week. Like what?
Mhm. For 4 years.
What? And if you were in drumline like I was, you had another quarter credit for another 10 hours a week or more.
Yep. Yep.
That's a lot of dedication.
I had 17 credits my first semester and 10 classes. Yeah.
Why?
Hellscape.
Oh, because
Why did you do that?
I
That's
wasn't
foolish.
medicated.
Hey! Fellow ADHD here. If that's what you were.
No, I just wasn't medicated. That's why I did it. I changed to pre-med and my grades got better because I was working less.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I
That's
love
insane.
music, but wow.
Our majors
Party
like
time,
went the
though.
opposite way from each other.
Not really. No, I mean, they're fairly similar. Mathematics, music, and medicine, they all go together.
True.
No, about Spiral. No.
Yeah, what is this trifle that we're talking about?
We're reminiscing.
swear.
We're talking about memory.
Oh,
It all
The
comes
goal
back.
of
It's all relevant.
Jeff was to know more about you. I think that's exactly what we're seeing at the moment.
I was waiting to
Yeah.
interrogate Melissa. She's sitting
Yeah.
there going, "I'm not saying anything. Nothing at all."
Quiet.
No, I'm just happy because like I feel like I've seen you guys' pictures, I've seen you on social media, and like I've heard like one line I think from Robert and from older Sophie, and like I haven't even heard anything from like teen Robert or kid Robert at all, and I'm just like so excited. So getting to even just like sit here and talk to you guys listening has been fun because this is all I'm gonna get for who knows how long. Mick.
We need to do more.
My face.
Well, we could hang out. I mean,
Yeah, we
clearly
just-
we've got a lot in common.
And in
So since everyone was waiting in silence, I'm assuming Melissa was speaking, and as usual, I've lost sound, but for her only.
Oh no.
We
I
can
always censor someone. I don't know why my computer does that. You want me to go out and come back, or do you prefer I just keep Melissa censored for me?
you might
It's okay,
predict
Herman doesn't be
everything.
attacked.
That's why I'm asking.
I don't know. It's part of the magic. Do whatever you want.
Yeah. I won't mind.
Doing-
I will
I
replace the
can
camera if
ask the
something
chat.
happen. Yes, chat. What do you think? Oh, bye.
No,
Oh.
no, you don't get the
Oh
Oh.
no! Now Melissa is Michaela and Michaela is Melissa. Just so you know.
Oh, there you go. You split it around now.
There's confusion. You don't
That's part of the magic. That's how it
have
works.
a camera, Michael.
Oops, forgot to. Found it. Here we go.
Oh no! What is
So
happening?
funny. I love that it changed on the Twitch.
Everything
log
is
into Twitch for the
moving.
first
There we go. Everything's all right. Do I have some question to start? I don't know. We talked so much. I
Looking
don't
at your
know.
question, there's something I wanted to mention early on, but I didn't want to interrupt anyone. One of the things that I learned many years ago, and I found so exciting, is that at least in some of the larger company, they have multiple characters, at least important characters. They usually have a room of writers, and each writer is assigned a character, and they write for that specific and defend their character. Don't have the budget for that, and to an extent, I would love if each of you do that with the script you read, those you read already, and those we will send you eventually, but before you start recording. So if you feel something is off on your character, or if you think something could be interesting to explore during a specific scene, raise a flag, tell us, and we could also do a chat with Nicole or Ryder, and just help align all those characters and be sure that they are content, because I mean Nicole is amazing and I really love her writing, but it's difficult sometimes to be 10 characters at the same time and be sure that they don't start to just blend together. So having someone that's there only for one character and defends it with all its art, I would love that. So if it's something that interests you, I would love if you would defend your character.
You know, I think, I mean, me personally, when I first started, obviously, recording for Robert, I mean, again, first real game job. So I would not have thought I had the leeway to go, I want to do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. I mean, it would feel very Orson Welles of that. But now, having met you and having known where you're from and your passion for it, yeah, the collaborative ability to do that. I mean, it sounds awesome. So you bet. But initially, no way I would have.
It-
Yeah.
Everything gets better but when
Hire me.
the actor can tell what they feel like. Sometimes when you read something, it just at reading it works, but when you're trying to say it, it just doesn't fit in your mouth. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound natural. So we can always move things around and just change things a bit so it can feel more organic and fit more you. I don't know. I just like it better when you have the space to move around.
It's rad. What a cool thing to like say we can participate with.
Right.
Inviting us into the
Yeah,
sand.
too, about like, yeah, defending your character. But I've never heard that before. That's such a cool way to think about it.
I think we're in the future we wanted to do more of those, like when we're gonna have the scene 7 that he was talking about, teasing everyone with it. It's with all of Bernard's best friend. So I was thinking maybe it could be a great thing to just like have a call and maybe do a reading, just have the feel of what all everybody's saying them. Always depend if people are available and want to do it, because I know Vanny is doing a lot of things. She's working with Riot, and so I don't know if she's gonna have time. But everyone, if we can make her read together, it's always better to know how people sound and how they react and the sound of their voice when you want to just fit them when there's an emotion, to be sure that everybody's on the same page. So I don't know, it would be great to do that.
So we did something similar. We actually have our Patreons are allowed to see our live reads. So we do it as a multiple thing. So the Patreons get something special that the other listeners don't get, but also, I mean, it is completely different when you actually have someone to act against, because obviously if you're reading it, you're acting in your head for the other person, and then you're trying to react. So I think that's a great idea. I love doing that.
That could be cool. Great.
Yeah. That's why I love my improvised podcast, because with Civ, we stand in the room together, and everything is just on the spot. Like, we have an idea of where we want the story to go at the beginning of the season, but then we just let it run wild. And as long as we're answering specific questions at some point, we know we're in the clear. But it just feels so good versus sometimes with a scripted story when you're alone. It is that like kind of challenge of how do I make this come alive without knowing your like intonation, your energy, your reaction. But that's also kind of the fun of voice work, and why like it's so different from everything else. I remember during the pandemic, I a little nut of bananas at one point because suddenly everybody was a voice actor who was like they were transitioning from TV and film suddenly becoming voice, or deciding they wanted to try it, and I was just like, here. Like, I get it. Like, it's cool that you can do it too, but you don't understand the nuances, and like, sometimes it's different, and you just like, don't get me wrong. I think that there should be more voice actors. I think it's very accessible. I think it's something that, like, if you want to try, you absolutely should do it. But there was a while where I was very protective because it's a very different medium.
We have our French voice that almost all of them are doing acting and voice acting, because it's a smaller space to have people from Quebec. So the merge of it, we were auditioning and I was like, I know those people. I've seen them on TV.
That's cool. Yeah, I can't wait to play it in French. Have no idea what's going on, but like also just to like enjoy it and just be like, oh yeah.
I want to meet French me.
Yes. Who's French? Oh, yes, it's Patrick, I think his name is. Yeah.
I'm gonna be.
Yes, we do
I'll be
have
the
one.
oblivious one. I didn't even consider that there's a French version of me.
Yes, there is.
Yep. And they're going, there's an American version of me.
I don't.
stand in a
Not
mirror and like do
sure.
this for a while and then reenact. What is it? Oh goodness, what's the name of that episode?
Do if I do that, I may try to show you
Is this like
your
dowsing?
friend version of yourself.
Ooh,
I don't know
that would be cool.
if you can open your stream so I can show them to you. I'm gonna start with Christy. Her
Wow.
name is Catherine Serré.
Where are you putting these?
On the stream. I'm gonna put them in the middle.
Oh.
So that's the French you.
Yeah, yeah. She kind of looks like you.
Yeah.
She actually does look a lot. Not even like kind of.
Does.
That could be like one of your professional headshots. That like if you put that up there and said, "Oh, this is my professional headshot," I'd be like, "Oh yeah, it looks exactly like you, Christy."
Yo, girl coming from my gig and my life. Yo, that's rad. What?
After
Hello, other
For the
Sophie?
Matrix, because that's
Yeah,
wild.
seriously.
this
She
is
could, like- Yeah, she could be my cousin.
this is Patrick
Also
Gauthier.
identical.
It's Diggs. So Bernard team.
You guys are a little bit creepy.
Yeah,
Not
there's
gonna
like
lie.
there's similarities there too.
Work for the robot overlord.
And after that, we have
My hair off.
Robert avec Eric Paulus. Oh, that's big. I'm sorry, I'm gonna it's smaller.
That is big. You know what? His eye looks like mine. His eye looks like mine.
Oh, I love this slow reveal.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you get the trifecta?
Dale. Oh, is he a ginger too?
No. Afraid not. You didn't get all three. He's way better looking. Like, he can grow a real beard. This is all I get. It's just 100% white trash. That's it.
You
That's
get-
all I can grow.
You get more than me.
Uh,
I get like if Vincent Price was an 8th grade boy.
You'll get there someday, son.
One day.
You know, when you grow up, you'll look just like me, just like your old
Out
man.
of shave, please.
I'm really proud because I have like 8 black hairs that come in, and I'm like, yeah, beard's getting good. You
Nice.
know,
At the
once a
moment,
month when I am being a full woman, I'm just like, oh, there it is, nice.
At least my red beard is starting to get a little like gray here, so it's strawberries and cream, so it looks kind of, regal almost.
It looks very cool and intentional.
Yeah, it's not. This is all I get. I could let my face grow for months at a time. This is it. That's all I get.
to answer, don't call Abigail. At the moment, we have a lot of subtitle in German, Russian. We have what else for the subtitle? But for the voice actor part, I don't think we're gonna go ahead for another language than French and English, because it's a really, since we're a narrative game, it's really hands-on to find the right fit, and we don't speak any other language, so to be sure that it work well with the voice, we're not able to do it, so we really wanted to make sure that it was the right fit for the voice. So that's why we're going for the subtitle for the other language. I'm sorry for the interruption.
Well, I mean, I think 2 languages for an indie game is pretty cool. Regionalizing, for two languages is still pretty bold.
Yeah.
On that front, we're helped a lot by our government. So if our game is at some level of localization in both French and English, they help us a little bit with the budget. So in fact, they refund a certain percentage from everything that costs for those languages. So
Thanks
Well,
to
it's
them.
bold
That's
and
why.
intelligent then. That's what we call a win-win.
Also, it's honoring your French Canadian roots, putting it into French. Like your team is based in Montreal, and like absolutely, I think that's so rad.
We're
French
really,
is French Canadian and not French
Yeah.
from France, which is more the usual way. But we decided to go ahead with local voices.
Nice. What?
To be fair, I told you that it was gonna be an hour, and it's like 8:45. So if you want us to end it, because I know Diggs, we have something afterward. You were saying at the beginning, I think. So.
I mean, I think this stream is for you and for us, and there's like 7 people, and it's for them too. But do what you want to do.
I see 9.
I mean-
I see 9. Maybe there are some on YouTube.
Nice.
I'd be happy to come do this again, but I won't lie. Right now, my stomach is making quite a lot of noise, and Stardew Valley is waiting for me. That's,
No, not Stardew Valley.
Yeah, I'm in year
It's
2
alright,
of my
Lisa.
summer. Just started. I'm a noob. It's addictive to the point that I'm like, I played it in.
Pomegranates.
I haven't played it all day,
you gotta grow pomegranates.
Oh man, I have the bat fruit cave. Best choice I've made.
Absolutely. Never go with mushrooms. Always go with fruit.
Foolish.
It's way better all the way around.
Yo, I'm all about the greenhouse with my cranberries and my blueberries now, baby. Like, give me
I
those
spend most of my
recurring
time fishing.
crops. Oh
Just
yeah.
like in game. I saw the fishing game for Spiral, and I'm like, oh my god, it's just like Stardew Valley. I want it so bad.
I didn't realize that I was picking a very difficult map. I picked the Riverlands.
Oh, nice.
As
Yeah,
my
that's
first
nice.
farm.
Well,
That's the
you
thing.
just
If you do
started
nothing
playing?
but fishing, if you just fish, it doesn't matter because you don't have to farm squat.
I'm really bad at fishing in that game, so I'm not the one
I
fishing.
hear lots of people are, but
How?
I'm super good at it. It's like my one true talent. Nothing else. I'm a Stardew Valley fisherman.
I'm a terrible physician, but I'm amazing in Stardew
Like
Valley.
one-
Hey,
You
Everyone,
want to
you can
fish?
kill
tiny
1 or 2
victory, they
people.
say.
No big deal. No big
Watch
deal.
out, because I got shaky hands all the rest of the time, except for when I'm fishing, baby.
I look my patients right in the eye. I'm like, do you have any other choice? I mean, really.
Listen, you look
Where are
at
you
you
gonna
look
go?
at your patients. You're like, I'm gonna imagine your liver is a trout. Okay?
I'm a
I can
fish
only
it
do my-
Scalpel.
I
Fish
can only
it
do my
right out.
stitches if it's a line on a hook.
Yeah, exactly. And whoop. She's stitched.
You know-
all right.
It's always fun, when you're seeing a patient and you count with your fingers. It gives people so much like faith in you. And then I tell them I play Stardew Valley and I'm a fisherman, and it's just great from there on in. No expectations.
You're like on your phone playing the app, like, huh? Bleeding out? Yeah, it's fine. She
Yeah.
got a timer.
I'm not that kind of doctor. I'm not that
Listen,
important.
It is 12:50 and I'm still in the cave. If I don't get back, like, this is a human life, sure. But if I don't get back, I'm going to be charged by Jojo Mark for being found for being exhausted. I'm not
Right.
taking that risk.
And I lose half my stuff and I gotta buy it back.
Yo, I just found a prism shard, okay? I'm sorry. My priorities are my priorities.
I prefer the geodes because you never know what you get. It's a lot like gambling. Right?
just wish more
you get the
people got
magma
it.
geodes.
Yeah. Priorities, people. And literally,
Mm-hmm.
like, I've just started playing. My life as I know it is over. I used to have friends. I used to have a husband.
Now you have
Just so we're
fish.
clear, Spiral is not Stardew Valley.
But you can go play Stardew Valley because it's amazing also, so go ahead. Anyway, Spiral is not out yet, but play the demo, it's not long.
Play the
It's
demo.
short.
Play
It hits.
Stardew,
That was
add it
super
to your
good.
wish list on Steam.
Yeah.
That would be full circle. We can talk about the demo and how it crushed me. And then that's full circle.
And then go play Stardew to make yourself feel better after.
Yeah, that's your afterwards. Your
Catharsis.
Thank you
Yo,
so
I got red for being in
so
love with Shane,
much.
apparently. But anyway,
No.
yeah.
No.
That's your Trojan horse of worms.
Worms.
I'm gonna use that 7 or 8 times a
Yeah.
day from now on,
Yeah.
just so you're aware.
Please do.
Yeah,
There's a little cat in New York that appreciates it.
Yeah.
He's above me.
right.
on the bunk bed.
On the bed.
The once and future king.
Yup.
He needs to always be above everyone else. I'm gonna let you go to Stardew, to food and everything. But if you're up for another stream at some point, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be so happy to have you on board. And thank you so much for being there and being so funny and amazing and talented. So Thank you. I love you all. So have a great
Thank you for
evening.
having us.
Yeah,
so
thank
much
you for having us. This was a blast. We'll chat soon.